Hi, everyone. This is Maheen, and welcome to the She and Success podcast, a national platform spotlighting powerful women who are shaping the future of business, leadership, and impact across Canada. Here we bring you real stories, bold journeys, and conversations that inspire growth, visibility, and success. Today, we are discussing the evolution of corporate intelligence and global scaling strategies because in 2026, running a competitive business means moving past siloed spreadsheets to establish a unified international data ecosystem that converts raw matrix into real-time market wins. Joining us is Helene Clary, the co-founder and chief revenue officer at ClicData. Helen is an elite international sales and marketing executive with over 20 years of cross-border experience spanning Europe, Canada, and Latin America. Fluent in 5 languages, she has directed revenue operations and commercial growth for ClicData since its launch in 2015, turning the platform into a world-class business intelligence solution that is designed to specifically to give mid-sized companies enterprise-grade data power. So without further ado, let's dive in and welcome Helen. Helen, it's a true pleasure having you on the show with us today. Thank you for joining. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm good, thank you.
Very pleased to have you with us once again. Now, Helen, unlike traditional businesses that start locally and expand outward over decades, ClickData was built from day one to operate as a completely global entity. Tell us, what does it take to run a born global tech company successfully?
Thank you. Well, I think we were never your typical French company to start with, because I was lucky to co-found this with Talmo Siva, who's Canadian. So right from the start of the company, we already had one foot on each side of the Atlantic, if I may put it this way. I would say then it's about where the market takes you. As you mentioned, we were ready to go to market in 2015. Europe was not ready for a SaaS product at that point. We've built a SaaS platform that, as you said in the intro, is making BI and data analytics more accessible to SMBs. And cloud SaaS is a big component of that. So we naturally turned to markets that were ready to consume technology that way already in 2015. And that's how we turned to English speaking markets. And in months, we were serving thousands of users in 20 countries. That was led by Canada and the US. And so we decided to open an office in Toronto to serve those users even better and support them. Because as you know, with SMBs, it's not just about the quality of the product. It's also about support and training. And so that's what we achieved with that office in Toronto. And that takes me to your question, which is, what does it take? I think it takes engaged people. I think the good old support and human touch in this particular story is critical. I mean, we are lucky to have teams and all those teams for whom it's all about what it takes to make the customer happy. That customer driven culture, I think, is what I made the difference to be successful at a global scale, to make ClicData an actual player with those 20 countries. So yes, you can. We've built the automation and the processes, and we have tools that allow us to run operations globally. But at the end of the day, it's the quality of that client first culture and our engaged coworkers that have really made a difference.
Thank you so much for walking us through the reality of running a born global company. And you're right, managing an international footprint from inception requires such a highly adaptable revenue framework that prioritizes localized partner strategy over a single rigid corporate playbook. Next up, Helen, let's explore the evolving data and business intelligence landscape in Canada. What data challenges are holding Canadian SMEs back today?
The first thing I'd like to mention when it comes to SMEs is the data silo. We're still dealing with SMEs that have different teams with different tools. You'll have your marketing tools for your marketing team, your financial tools for your financial team. Those tools are not necessarily created to talk to each other unless you get into some heavy interfacing. And so decisions are still made independently. Now, you might ask me, what's the point of centralizing it all? Do we absolutely need to make this data crossed or cross teams for that matter? Well, the answer is yes. I mean, the moment you want to start calculating some ROI, for example, understand whether your marketing campaign had an impact on your sales, you're already talking about data that's coming from different systems. So data silos is one first challenge that SMEs have to deal with. I think we should also discuss the limited analytics capacity of SMEs. You wouldn't usually find your dedicated BI specialist or data analyst even for that matter. So decisions tend to still be taken like based on gut feeling, which it's good to have, but it cannot just be that. And spreadsheets, but with spreadsheets, you'll meet the same challenge as with siloed tools. It's also an explanation of the third challenge that I'd like to mention, which is the data quality and consistency. You tend to deal with multiple versions of those spreadsheets, inconsistency in manual completing of it, and eventually your users kind of lose the trust in the quality of the reports because they lose the trust in the data. They're not sure that the data is actually there. Instead of consistent structured insight, it's too sporadic kind of thing. So I think the other challenge that SMEs are facing in Canada is that most of the BI tools have been priced and scoped for enterprise size type of companies. It's not just the cost of licenses, it's also because what it takes to maintain those enterprise tools when it comes to BI. So I think that's another thing that's happened to SMEs specifically. And maybe the last one that we can mention is the good old habit, the culture of change. We've seen that attempt of modernizing, but it's difficult. It's hard to get out of the habits of just completing your spreadsheet, even though it's not efficient, even though it has all of the other implications that we've mentioned. So now the good news is that with ClicData, we've attempted at resolving those particular challenges, and I believe we've done a good job at it in making it more accessible while proposing something of quality. We help not just with the product. I mean, we do deal with quite a bit of SMEs and SMBs that don't have people in house to even analyze the data once it's pulled together, and that's why the team in Toronto is helping so much as well, being close to the users. It's not about just teaching them on how using our features. It's also a full-fledged delivery services team that can actually build those analyses for them, and that makes a difference too.
And there's no doubt that moving businesses past manual collection bottlenecks towards automated data replication, it creates such a single source of truth that really speeds up daily operational decision making. And this gives us a great insight into the modern data and the business intelligence landscape in Canada. So thank you so much for highlighting that, Helen. Next up, let's look at what helps startups successfully scale into sustainable businesses. Helen, what are the key ingredients for turning a startup into a global scale up?
From startup to scale up. Story of my life.
Yes, it is.
I'd say the first thing is for the quality of the product is definitely the first thing. I mean, when my marketing and sales teams grow the business, we do it with the confidence that the product can take it. We can bring in new customers with new data, whether it's the diversity of the data or the volume of the data, and we know that the product can actually handle it, which is amazing. I mean, I've worked for organizations before where you sell and you know your promise is empty. So this is a very comfortable position to be in, that knowing that the product can take it. It has to do with the vision. It has to do with the technology choices from the start. And our capacity to grow as the market grows as well. I think there is an agility component to that. Agility sounds a bit cliche or cheesy, however you want to put it, because we always say, the startup brings innovation. It's disturbing the market because by the size of the startup, you naturally have that agility. But I think agility goes beyond that. It's about and it's definitely one of the key ingredients is going from startup to scale up is evolving with the market, but also listening to your users and giving them the ability to scale as well. Because with SMBs, it's a sweet balance between, okay, start with something, start somewhere, usually start small, start with one use case. But at the same time, from that first conversation, you need to give them that confidence that as they scale, the product will scale with them, no problem. So I would say it's definitely yet another element. But product quality is all nice and fine, but it serves no purpose if you're not putting it efficiently in front of the right market, right? So that's yet another essential ingredient. And I think we've learned a lot over the years in producing the right material and giving the right support to SMEs so that they're also even aware that that product exists and that it can help.
Well, this gives us a great list or secret ingredients from startup to scale up, Helen. And you're right, transition from reactive founder-led sales to repeatable data-driven revenue operations is what allows an organization to really scale without sacrificing its core performance. Now let's explore how AI is transforming modern data intelligence. Helen, how is generative AI transforming the future of business intelligence?
It's definitely helped with the momentum of having a data strategy. I mean, for a while, up until very recently, worrying about, especially as an SME, worrying about your data was kind of almost a nice to have. And now it's become an utmost priority to have that data strategy and that data foundation because everybody wants to do AI. Everyone uses AI. We all do, especially generative AI. We all do on our personal day-to-day tasks and also at work. And so that trend has created a bit of a pressure on companies to make sure that they're keeping their data house tidy and clean, because if they're going to give the power to their staff, and they should, of leveraging data to make data driven decision, it better be the right data, right? To avoid the whole garbage in, garbage out. So it's actually helped us quite a bit in terms of promoting our data platform, because we put those features forward of not only collecting, but keeping it processed and transformed the right way so that users can actually tap into that data house, if you will. So that's one element that I can share. The other element is that it's also AI is also being raising expectation in terms of how accessible data analytics should be. And that's a good thing. I mean, our mandate from the start at ClicData was to make BI and data analytics accessible to everyone, big and small, data with data expertise or none. And AI is really helping achieving that goal. So specifically to ClicData, now that we've discussed the market, I think specifically to the ClicData, we go back to the agility that I was talking about earlier. I mean, our engineers, they've been leveraging those new technologies for a couple of years now already. And we already put forward to our users the ability to transform their data with natural language, not just coding, which is more on the data side, but we also now give them the ability to build modeling on massive amounts of data to do complex things. Like forecasting. They used to be complex, they're not as complex anymore because AI is making it all accessible. And where we've seen the biggest impact on the market and on our product more specifically is on the data visualization side. We can now, put a script or a prompt to command the platform to build a dashboard. We can chat with that dashboard or the data in that dashboard, if you will, and we can even have it commented automatically. I mean, this is truly this is amazing. It's really helping making this whole thing accessible. Now, the project that we've seen so far implemented that have been successful at leveraging AI are the ones that are not forgetting the essentials. What I was mentioning earlier, it's all nice and fine, but the prerequisite for this to be very, very efficient is to have your data stored securely, and consolidated, like the whole data foundation that I was talking about earlier needs to be there for this to happen properly, for sure.
Absolutely. No, shifting our analytics framework from static one-way dashboards to really the interactive AI data assistance really allows managers to literally chat with their matrix to uncover hidden operational flaws. So this is definitely a game changer. Now, Helen, finally, let's look at the power of multicultural strategy in global business growth. How does a multicultural background strengthen global sales and growth strategies?
I think it's that constant awareness that people from different countries work differently. It's helped me. It's helped my teams because a lot of us are multicultural here at ClicData. It's helped understanding our customers. I was mentioning earlier we serve customers in 20 different countries, so having that awareness is definitely a big plus. I also think it's helped me personally manage sales and marketing teams globally. There's no one recipe fits all kind of situation. So that keeps me on my toes. It's kind of like raising teenagers. You need to have that awareness that it's not one single operating mode. And I love it. I mean, that's really the piece that I find the most fun, running those operations.
Hmm. This is a good way to kind of, conclude our episode as well. And in terms of understanding that infusing deep cultural nuance and cross-border empathy into our sales development strategies, what really unlocks enterprise level client relationships on such a global scale. But overall, this was a great conversation, Helen. Thank you so much for highlighting the power of multicultural revenue strategy alongside how AI is reshaping data intelligence. You also covered great ingredients for from startup to scale up journeys, and of course, the modern data and the BI landscape in Canada. Now that we wrap up, what advice would you give businesses that are very overwhelmed by messy data and analytics?
Come chat with us. We can help. In a more on a more serious note, especially because it's a conclusion. I would say start small, but start now. Don't wait for your data to be perfect. It will never be perfect, but you need to start somewhere because it's urgent that you make those data-driven decisions to support your gut feeling.
Absolutely. That's a great reminder, really, that centralizing your data pipelines first is quite the key to unlocking the true power of automation. Thank you so much, Helen, for taking the time to
Thank
chat
you.
with us, and thank you for sharing your expertise.
Thank you.
And listeners, that was Helene Clary from ClicData, a masterclass in scaling a born global enterprise, leveraging AI business driven business intelligence, and really understanding how mid-sized Canadian firms can maximize their revenue operations in 2026. Thank you for listening to the She and Success. To learn more about how we're supporting women entrepreneurs beyond the platform, please visit She and Success Foundation at sheandsuccessfoundation.ca. A special shout out to our exclusive shipping partner, Pure Leader, for their ongoing commitment to supporting women entrepreneurs and helping them build, grow, and lead successful businesses across Canada. Visit sheandsuccess.ca to explore more stories, insights, and powerful voices, and join us again as we continue to celebrate women who lead, build, and inspire. See you in the next episode.